So, I'm done. I've been showing you the various videos as I was plucking off the leaves, and I have 5 glass jars for today. And as I said in my last video, this was my last shoot for today, but something just compelled me and told me I should share my story. For those who do not know my story, because I've never shared this on video, but I've shared it several times in social media, in writing, on how I embraced nature, because I love nature too, very much. Yes, I do. As you can see, even in my house, there's a flower there, plant there, plant there, plant there, and there's more. This is just a quarter of my kitchen of what you guys are seeing. This is just a quarter of my kitchen. On the other end, there are 3 plants. There's another one on that other end corner. There's another that. I mean, I'm surrounded by nature. So if I look around me, my kitchen area, my dining area, in those 2 areas, I have like 15 plants. Some in big pots, some in small pots. That's how much I love and embrace nature. I'm always excited. So I call them the plants that I have them in my house, in my compound, or anything green is my baby. And if you look at the growth of a seed, yeah, seed, either seed for a plant or seed for a human being. Honestly, there's not much of difference on how the seed of look at it closely. Just look for a picture in Google and look how after the sperm meets the eggs and it forms the zygote before it's even an embryo, and when it produces the radicle, even the seed for a plant, that is the process. Yeah, because the embryo, the radicle from when it's an embryo, you can already see the radicle that kind of looks like a tail. It what later becomes the legs, the foundation. And the radicle of a seed for a plant is what later becomes the roots. Those are the legs of the tree that makes it to stand up. Yeah, and nature makes me feel happy. It has its own way of therapy. I mean, plants produce a native plant tree. They have natural phytochemicals, and that's where the therapy comes in. That you just breathe. Plants at the same time they have oxygen. They're just vibrant. They are human beings, and I impress them so much. Yeah. And at the same time, as I told you, there's a video where I've shared that I started watering plants while I was below 2 years. I would go to the river with a cup, of a metal cup. I would follow my sisters to the river with a cup. So I believe that's where the connection came from. But at the same time, even more connection because I've watched my parents closely, and much of my characters I've adopted from my dad and also his mother as well. So like plants, what I do, my dad is exactly like that. The nurseries I maintain, and even like the trees we used to water, like I was telling you, the guava leaves, the raspberry, the soursop that you can see here, some of them I've harvested from my parents' farm. And there are trees that we used to water when we were young, and it is my dad who personally used to plant them. Then the kids would be given work, water them. So we started working from a very early age. Was that child labor? But I embrace it. It was child labor in a good way. No, so that's why I began my story of me embracing nature. But at the same time, and I've always loved nature because I remember even right now I'm living in my own space, but even while I used to live in a bed sitter, I remember my second bed sitter. Yes, my second bed sitter. My first bed sitter. I've shared previously my story of how I began living independent life and such. My first house I used to pay 2,000. It was a single room where you'd share the bathrooms and the washrooms, yeah, the bathroom and the toilets. I mean, that time I was an intern working at USIU, United States International University in Thika Road. And then that time I was an intern. It was not paid internship, and that is what I could afford from the pocket money my parents were giving me. They wanted me to stay in an hostel, and I was not ready to stay in an hostel. I felt mature enough that I needed to begin life on my own, and I was not ready to mix with those characters, childish and immature characters in the hostel. I'm not saying all the people who live in the students who live in the hostels are immature. Yeah, so basically, yeah, and I remember after that, I did not work in USIU for long. It was only 8 months, 3 months of internship, although within 2 months and a half, 2 months and 2 weeks, they gave me a job, they offered me a job, and then later they employed me. So I only worked in USIU for 8 months. both employment and internship. And after that, I got another job along Mombasa Road. I'll not mention the company. I moved to my second bed sitter. I was living at Pipeline, the upper pipeline, yeah? The upper pipeline after you come from City Cabanas, it was almost closer to the road. Not next to the road, but almost closer. And I remember when I was in that bed sitter, I would even make effort to buy plants, although they were always drying up within 2 months. And even after some years, moved to a one bedroom. Still, I made effort with plants, they never worked. So plants, even when I was living in a two-bedroom, later even in two-bedroom, I tried and it was a very good space. Where I was living in Syokimau, and at least there are not much of neighbors, and you can place your plants outside the house and such. Still, they never thrived. So plants just thrived when I got into my own compound. I maintain, I have quite a number of plants. I maintain, I have exterior, interior, exterior. I maintain a nursery as well. But anyway, my story of herbs, so that was just a story of how I embrace nature, and even the business that I'm doing. One of the businesses I'm doing is fully into nature, what God gave us, plants for healing, the natural medicine, yeah? All right, and these, I don't know whether, am I ready to share my story today? NutriSupa, or should I do a separate video as I speak about NutriSupa? I don't know.